Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to another MAMJ Let's Play of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. When we left off, we had the first trial phase for Rise from the Ashes, and now we're about to have another second courtroom battle. So, pretty cool to have two of these back to back. I definitely love these segments more than the investigation segments, although the investigations are fun and quirky as well. I just love laying the smackdown on people in the courtroom. So, let's see what happens now after we've taken our brief recess. Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Are trials always like this with you? Like, you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake, about to reach the surface, but no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there. Pretty much. Yeah, pretty accurate. Except today, we're swimming in quicksand. So, what happened to your sister anyway? Apparently, she got called off to the judge's chambers. Probably something to do with that piece of cloth. So, this is where we turn the trial around, right? Our only weapon, a tiny, insignificant piece of cloth. I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell you the truth. Hola, partner. Oh, it's the marshal. They say you show a red cloth to a bull, it'll fire up its temper. That's what they told me when I was a youngin' at least. Officer Marshall. Thought I'd come take a look-see at how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. They've got a place locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. I just imagine him like riding a horse as everybody else like taking cars and stuff, and that's why he's late. What is going on over there anyway? All the police I've seen these last 2 days have been really on edge. Don't you got enough on your plate to be worrying about other people, compadre? You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example. Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf. You don't say. Now don't that just beat all? I've seen the red breeze blow at her slender neck many a time. I saw it that day too. She was wearing a red muffler. What? At the awards ceremony that afternoon. Edgeworth seen it too, I'd reckon. What does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf. So, Miss Starr wasn't mistaken. Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. And sometimes, you just gotta let that bull go where it will. Time will tell. I have a bad feeling about this. So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright? If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Ooh-wee! Thanks, Marshall. Thanks a lot. Oh god, what are we gonna do? I'd like to resume? What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution. It's something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue, your lips are purple, and you're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused. You're doubled over, your back is bent. It can't be. This can't happen. I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth. Well then, I believe it is time to continue with this trial. During our recess, I had requested that the prosecution conduct an investigation. This is unacceptable. It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself. Excuse me, knock knock. Who's there? Oh, you. What's with this guy? A strange, stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. Hey, the temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in. Who on earth is he? It's you! Well, this is awkward. Are you gonna say anything, or? Oh, hey. Sorry I'm late, Udgy. The roads were packed. It's just me. Long time no see, eh, Yudgy? How you been? Swim much these days? Hello. No, I've been so busy. Busy, smidgy huzzy. My boy, you have to make time to relax. Yes, indeed. Hudgy? Seems to be his nickname for the judge. I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. Sorry, but who are you? Haha! So you're Wrighto, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son. Oh, thanks? So sorry about our little worthy giving you all that trouble, eh? You know, we should all go swimming together sometime. Jolly. Little worthy? Mr. Wright, you don't even know the district chief of police? Chief of police? He's the top-ranking police officer in this entire district. Yeah. Name's Gant. Damon Gant. Pleased to meet you, everyone. And that's why Edgeworth is freaking out right now. So, to what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it? Well, it's worthy here. Look at the poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this. Hey, that's my sister's muffler. So Miss Star wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Miss Sky really was wearing that muffler. But to think that it was stuffed into that exhaust pipe. On little Worthy's car, no less. The awkward pauses are really awkward. It's really quite embarrassing, even for us. What's this? It's what you'd call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this. Perplexing. Words. Chief, what kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth? How could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? Now wait a minute, Worthy. I've no desire to hear your excuses. I'm telling you to wait. Or, didn't you hear me? Have a look at this document, where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking that signature. Miles Edgeworth. That's no fair. The day of the crime, I had... Your head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean this mess that you made. This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words. This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. The court accepts this new evidence, but I'd like to ask the defense a favor first. Yes? Just to be sure, I'd like to take a look at the blade of this knife. The blade, Your Honor? Well, I don't see why not. Could you open it up for me, I wonder? Yes, well, I think all you have to do is push that switch and... If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I won't be able to pound my gavel anymore. Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I won't be able to point at people anymore. Very important. Come on, just hurry up and open it. Seriously? I have to go through all this? Let's push the button. It's right here. Right there. Click. Ha! Don't scare me like that. I'm the one who's scared. Look at this knife blade. The tip's broken off. And this dark red stain. Blood? Switchblade knife added to the court record. This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself. I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us about the split between the prosecutors and the police, and this knife? Sure thing. Not a problem. Not even a little one, really. Okay, here we go. Department in disorder. This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. A detective was killed by the police department, see? What a mess. The time of the crime? 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. There was a murder at the police department? A detective? That's hush-hush information, Aji. We haven't exactly announced it yet. Wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. We got 2 murders in 2 different places. Interesting. Order. Anyway, we at the department were all flustered, as you might as well assume. We're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay? I think we understand the police department's situation. Well, Mr. Wright, 2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places. The chances of that are really slim, scientifically speaking, of course. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness. Very well. However, keep your questions focused on the case at hand. Okay, we gotta be careful with this guy. He can be very dangerous, as you've seen with him and Edgeworth. So we're gonna press everything. I'm not gonna go here yet, because this is too leading. You weren't in any shape to do an investigation, okay. Something didn't happen at the police department too, did it? You got a good look in your eyes there, Righto, my boy. Sharp, hungry. Chief, did something happen? And why haven't I heard? Why haven't you heard? Or why didn't you ask? No matter, I understand. You were busy, what with Lana's case and all. Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day? Okay, here we go. On the same day, a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot. Another detective was killed at the police department? That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, Aji? I am at a loss for words. And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. Just arrested? That was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, right? I suppose I could help, if you help me by giving me data on your case. Ooh, good one. This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only. We already know when. The how was the knife. So let's go with where. So, tell me, where was the victim found? Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department. The evidence room? You wouldn't know about the evidence room, would you, Righto? I can't say I've heard of it. I guess I should ask again once I learn a bit more about this evidence room. There's something stranger than this, about this in the place where the body was found. Okay, I know the time, so maybe we'll try the murder weapon? I'm guessing it's this knife, though. Let me see what he says. Okay, so, how was the victim killed? Well, how was the detective killed? How was he killed? Now that's the interesting part. It was what we in the forest call a stabbing, with a knife. A knife? That's exactly the same as Detective Goodman. That's the spirit. We're cooking now. But you know, That's not the only thing that was exactly the same. What do you mean? There were more similarities between the two cases than the cause of death. Press it a bit harder. We don't have to. He already tells us in the next section. 5:15. But that's when Detective Goodman was killed in the prosecutor's office. What? Funny, isn't it? A murder at the prosecutor's office and a murder at our very place at the exact same time. What are the chances? Emma, what are the chances? None? Okay, that's what I figured. Coincidence? This is just my gut feeling, but I'd say there's a 0.001% chance of that happening. Chief Gant, please tell us more about the incident. Alright, it's not officially linked. It might be, we'll see. How can you say there's no connection? How? Because I'm the chief of police. I can't just say anything I please, Righto. You understand. Try to understand, Righto. Well, if you can prove there's a connection, more power to you. Maybe there is something that ties the two murders together. But whatever it is, I better find it and get to the bottom of this. 2 detectives were killed at 5:15. 1 at the prosecutor's office, and 1 at the police department. That can't be a coincidence. And that knife? What was it doing there? I'd better check this knife out. Okay. It's special, but I can't say how or where. Let's look at this knife one more time. Crap, I don't want to present. Hang on, I don't want to press either. Excuse me, special? Hard to come by this particular knife anywhere else. Might that special thing be this little tag? Oh, sorry, Righto, but I can't say that now. Not that. We've established that the knife in Goodman's chest was this knife. Now, why was there another knife at the scene of the crime? That's quite a mystery. And I like a mystery. It's wrapped in something. A muffler. Okay. Hang on. So the switchblade knife. Let me take a look at it again. What about this blood? No? Alright, let's go ahead and see what else we can find. What's this? There's gotta be something here that I can check. What though? It's not letting me examine anything. I feel like the thumbprint should be something. Okay, hang on, the examine icon popped up somewhere. Where'd it pop up? Come on, I saw it. For a split second, I saw it. What? You guys saw that too, right? Like it popped up and then it left? I'm not going completely crazy, am I? I don't know. It's not giving me an option to examine anything anymore. But Phoenix said he needs to look at something. There's gotta be something here. I'm just not... This? There's a small tag on the knife. It says SL9-2. What's that supposed to mean? I'm not sure, but it reminds me of a similar code. DL6? Maybe it's a case number. That's weird. What? I don't remember where, but I think I've seen something like this before. Something similar to what's written on this tag. It wasn't that long ago either. Maybe I should check the court record again. Okay, so I know what it is because I actually made that exact same statement. Which is this. Yeah, okay, awesome. Wait a second. Aha! At last, an honest-to-goodness objection. This knife. This has to have something to do with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? Aha! An honest-to-goodness, what do you mean from the judge? This is great. Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL9-2. And this is important. Why? Over here we also have A memo that was on the body of the victim. What's this? 6 minus 7s, 12/2. Your Honor, it's upside down. The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turn it around, and what do you get? Booyah! Aha! When he wrote this note, he was holding the paper upside down. SL9. That's the same thing that's written on this knife's tag. Rumble, 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 rumble. Order, order. Well, Chief? Well, I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, Righto. I win? What game is this guy playing? This knife was evidence in the case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. Ah! So this knife was stolen? Yes, but on the day of the murder. It was evidence, you say. Was it, in fact, a murder weapon? Nice! 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 Good show, little worthy. It was a murder weapon, as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved. So this knife was stolen on the day of the murder, and it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car. Hard to think there isn't a connection there. Okay, so now what do I do? Here we go. Okay, so I had to press him again on the location of the victim and where they were found, because remember they mentioned the evidence room. Now Phoenix has heard about it already, so apparently that triggers something else entirely different. Wait a second. I have heard of that. The evidence room? Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now? This knife was evidence in the case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. Yup. There's the connection between the two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy? We just got handed a ticket to go to town on this case. With the link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now, we can get Gant to testify about the details. So how do we do that? Here we go, Chief. The defense's position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven. You don't say. Well, out with it, Righto. What's your connection? Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright. The connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention, the victim had written down the numbers of the knife's evidence tag. And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room. Indeed. There do seem to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence. It's too quiet. He's too quiet. You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right there. Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and all. Can we get the information unofficially? Come on. Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all. What? Really? Who would have guessed? I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department, okay? Sure, give me what you got. If you're gonna tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Haha, well, the case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Oh, well, I guess I might as well try to get what I can out of them. ID number? Hang on. Okay, how about you tell me the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. Of course not. He won't tell me their name after all. We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is 1. 5842189. Okay, I want to see something. We have Goodman's ID. What? 5842189. Yeah, it's the same. A name and ID number are written here. Detective Bruce Goodman, ID number 5842189. I wonder why they only use numbers for IDs. Well, what else would they use? Letters, silly. They're the reason we have a written language in the first place. True. Detective Bruce Goodman, ID Yabba-Dab. See? Wouldn't that be better? Yabba-Dab? Well, it does have a certain ring to it. Exactly my point. Hee. It doesn't take too much to amuse her. Alright, Mr. Yabba-Dab. I think we got it then. But how was he murdered in 2 different places? Well, that's quite long. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts. 82. I can't do it. You didn't even get the first number right. Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything? The ID number of the victim at the police department. It tells me something. This tells me nothing. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think. Meaning? It has to be what I think it is. But what does this mean? Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something. What does it tell you? That he was a good man. Witness. What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night. No, it's just, I got confused. And this is news? Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing, like you always do. Edgeworth is like, come on. The police department, the prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here. Oh, is it yours? No, Your Honor. I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Righto. Personnel IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189. And this means what exactly? Huh? Wait, that ID number we heard from the chief earlier. That started with 82. I've forgotten. You even forgot the first numbers again. The number of the chief of police gave us was 5842189. Objection! Wait a second, Wright. What does this mean? That's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that? Ho ho ho! Shop as attack, Righto. Shop as attack. But wait! Detective Goodman is our victim. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot. Yet a Detective Bruce Goodman was also killed at the police department. In the evidence room at the exact same time. That's impossible. So what you're saying is, the same person was killed at the same time, and in completely different location. Pretty much. Order, order, order. Chief, what does this... No. What I want to know is why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine. But I'm the prosecutor in charge of a case. Now, just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait. I said, wait. Or didn't you hear me? The oversight, the grave error. Mr. Edgeworth, They're yours. What? How? How dare... We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you the news. Officer Meekins? Mr. Wright, where have you heard that name before? Wait, aha! Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth anywhere on the premise? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. You don't mean him. According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe. But your officer, he told me. He said the report had nothing to do with the Sky incident. Detective Bruce Goodman murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written here at the top of the report. Why didn't your officer tell me? Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer is capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged. Oh, poor Meekins. In any case, this is a serious error. A gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy. But sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then You don't play that game. No such luck this time, Worthy. Or should I say, unworthy. What? Now, what was the second rule of evidence law? Well, Mr. Wright? Huh? Oh, well, it's, Rule 2. New evidence may only be submitted if it concerns the case on trial. And how is this relevant? Normally, you'd submit a list of evidence to be used in the court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list. So, what does this mean? I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. The connection was just proven by Righto over there. Good job, Righto, my boy. Huh? I was just doing my job. No. No! Poor Edgeworth. It seems we have come to an end of this trial. You are becoming a thorn in my side, Worthy. There have been rumors. After all, you were in the defendant's chair just last year. I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part. Mr. Edgeworth, please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened, if it's the last thing I do. You'd better get results this time. Really. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. We will grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. Will this be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Very well. Court is adjourned. Oh, wow. It just ends like that. There's no, like, talk after the trial or anything, huh? Okay. Well, okay. I guess that's it for this episode. That's actually a good place to stop it. The last episode was pretty long. So again, this will break it up a little bit so it's not too hard to keep up. I do feel bad when like Pocket Mirror and Phoenix Wright are both really long. So maybe that'll break it up a little bit, make it nicer for you guys. Anyways, what do you think about that? The same person was killed at the same time in 2 different locations. Kind of a trip. But anyways, hopefully we can learn a little bit more in the next investigation phase. So until then, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you enjoyed. I'll see you guys on the next MAMJ Let's Play. What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed a crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Scott? Well, witness? Yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible.